Welcome back to the battleground. Escotinis Kamaminsela here at the Orlando Stadium, Soweto Derby time. And it's the two most successful clubs in the history of the MTN8 in its various guises over the years that are slugging it out here for a place in the final. A final where Orlando Pirates have not been since 2014. Kaizer Chiefs last appearing in a final in 2015. And it's Kaizer Chiefs that will get us underway in their change the waist strip to the blue and attacking the goals to the right of your picture. No changes yet to report at halftime. Brian Mate, what would have been the word from the two men in charge here? Tinbawa, I would imagine, would have been the happier of the two coaches, while Gavin Hunt, I'm sure, would have been ruining the missed opportunities.
Well, you're right to say Kevin Hunt would have expressed his disappointment, his players not taking chances. But I guess he'll be pleased that they are able to create those chances. At the same time, Zimbabwe will be saying, you need to bury them.
Well, that could have gone horribly wrong there. Pay needed to show some bit of pace off the line there, because against Pule, to get to that one before Pule, and he did ever so well. Could have gone horribly wrong and ended up in a red card. Last thing that Chiefs would need as they're chasing the game here. Chiefs reached the back-to-back finals in 2015 and in 2014 and 2015. And Pirates also reached back-to-back finals in 2013 and 2014, famously losing both. One of them, of course, to Kaizer Chiefs in the 2014 final.
The brilliant one was at his best on that evening. Brilliant Kuzwa. That's what he's good at. Little 1-2, wanted to engage Kamabiliat.
This is Gatbe. Had to get this right. No, Ule is quick. He is greased lightning, so Akpe had to get there and make sure he gets there first and doesn't get the man. And he did it ever so well. And the big Nigerian, the hero of the last derby. Lebahang Manyama got all the plaudits because he scored the winning goal, but Akpe's saves in that game were massive for the ultimate results. Well, Ryan Mate, something that we haven't reflected on a lot, of course, is that the Pirates have brought in a lot of players, new players in the off-season, the short off-season. Chiefs have find themselves in this predicament, of course, where they will not be able to sign new players for the rest of the season, pretty much. So there's a couple of ways of seeing that as an opportunity, I guess, for the young boys to make a name for themselves. But again, it presents the coach with a difficult situation where the masses of Chiefs fans will be demanding a trophy. You know, they are longing for success after this long dry spell.
Well, I think the fans just needs to be very patient. So we would understand the situation as it is. But for the players, those that are there, it's a great opportunity to impress the coach, because all of them will get a chance. You talk about Muromanda, who's not playing, Gezana wasn't playing, but they've got the chance now to prove to the coach what they can do. So this is a perfect opportunity. And yes, the team wants to get trophies, but it's not going to be easy.
Bacchus again, I wonder. He's made a few fouls in this game here, as Kieran Bacchus is lucky not to have been cautioned as yet. But yeah, the likes of Njabulo, Blom, and Kosingipele Ngobo, grabbing the opportunity here to impress the coach. As we see the foul on Lodge by Bacchus. Lodge will dust himself off to take the free kick himself. This is third semi-final meeting between these sides in the MTN8. Yes, it was introduced in 2008. This is the third offside flag here against Rugamanja. It's the 13th rather, edition of the MTN8. Chiefs and Pirates met in the semi-final in 2010 and 2011. So the twice met in double-legged semi-finals, and they've met in two finals as well in the MTN8.
Remember, first half we asked a question about the Chiefs player that scored that goal. Knowledgeable fans. At Ieho Mokata is so right. It's Willard Katsande. Donna, it's not there for Mashamaite.
Mashamaite scored the winner in the final.
Yes.
In 2014. Mashamaite scored the game's only goal, a headed goal, advancing header. And that was enough to win the game out at the Moses Mapida Stadium. What a ball this is now, in a chance here for Orlando Pirates, but the pass there for Lepasa, a difficult one. He's done well, Lepasa, as well, to keep it alive, but what an opportunity there. But he found himself isolated, but what a pass to take him out. And goes all. Chiefs have lost out here again. It's gone out of play in the near side. Wanyama couldn't keep it in play. Well, Zakele Lepasa really has looked good in this game, and has got a goal as well to show for it. It's the goal that separates the two sides.
He seems to be building a habit. Whenever he gets given the opportunity, whether he's coming on as a sub, he does get goals for the team.
He changed the game for Pirates in midweek when he came on. He's just got so much energy. He keeps defenders busy. Free kick goes against Tlachuayo here. Skipper making his debut in the derby for his new club, the club he supported as a boy. Living his dream is Tulani Tlachuayo. He just gets away from it. Ngobo there. Space now for Bule. Looks to switch play there, bringing in Lodge. Nice touch from Lodge to bring it under control. The Chiefs have regrouped. Looking to turn there is Lepasa, formerly, of course, with TS Galaxy, his former club, now also competing in the Premier Soccer League. He was the man who scored the winner against Kaizer Chiefs. Let's not forget. Lest we forget that he scored the winner in a shock victory for the first lower division side to win the Nedbank Cup. It was Zakele Lepasa that won the penalty and then dusted himself off to score it.
Yeah, I can hear the fans saying, but we're trying to heal our wounds, and we're like you just you tell us.
Jeez,
we've gone through pain, and you just starting all over again to remind us of some of the challenges that the club have had.
It's been a period of pain since Kaizer Chiefs last won a trophy. That trophy being the MTN8 was the last trophy that they lifted. Now good work from Lepasa again, and he's fouled, and this is going to be a card, no doubt. Ngezana taking one for the team there.
Well, it's because he made a mistake. The positioning wasn't right, and he got beaten by Lepasa. Watch this. Tried to win the ball. Sometimes you just have to do the basics right. Just clear the ball and kick it out. And now he's in trouble, and he realizes he's going to be in more trouble if he gets into the box and decides to foul him. On the other hand, I felt maybe Lepasa should have continued as opposed to just trying to cut inside.
He goes into the book as well now, Ngezana, along with Pilani Zulu. That's a problem for Chiefs. We've got two defenders now on yellow cards. And we still have a long way to go in the game. So, what can Pirates do then from a set-piece situation here?
Well, if you have Lodge will try and carry it onto the left-hand side of Akpay. If it is Pule, he's going to engage the players on the far side. Let's
see what he does with this one, Lodge. And is it going to be Pule that hits it? Akpay watches that one go over the crossbar.
It's a tricky one, but nothing wrong with the creativity.
Mentioned that Kaizer Chiefs' last trophy, and it in a cup competition, was in 2014, an MTN8 that they won then. But they did win the Premier League, of course, in 2015. After 2014-15, that same season, they did the double, and Stuart Baxter.
They were solid in that year.
Defensively sound.
Very, very solid.
Very hard team to beat. The Buccaneers, as I mentioned, have reached the final of the MTN8. Lost to Chiefs in the one final. Chiefs, we hear, will be making a double change. Ramampatele. Bernard Parker, we believe, will be one of those coming on for Kaizer Chiefs, as that one has gone out of play on the far side, and this will probably be allowing an opportunity then for the change to happen, or not quite yet.
Well, I think if Bernard Parker has to come on, for me, on the left-hand side, Chiefs don't have the strength. I think Provo is struggling, Blom as well, and Zulu.
Going to run away for a throw-in for Kaizer Chiefs.
Not a high-tempo game in the second half, I guess. For Pirates, it's more trying to defend their lead. We try and retain possession. Chiefs, more the aggressors in terms of pushing numbers forward.
Good-looking ball, but it's just Ofori. That's easy pickings for him. Flies out. Read that one well. Take a look at this. Patele's ball in there.
You can tell the intentions was to find Castro. Well read there by Ofori. Over the years, we've always had personalities in terms of goalkeeping for Orlando Pirates. William Opara, for me, was one of those goalkeepers with presence and dominant figure in that box. Of course, the late Senzo Meiwa. You can talk about Innocent Mayoyo as well.
Senzo Meiwa, yes, all rest in peace. Just last week, we marked 6 years since the Pirates' former captain and inspirational goalkeeper died.
Yeah, and it was on this very ground where he played his last game, and I happened to have been there to do that that game. And as you say, his soul rest in peace.
This man down for Pirates here is Tabang Manare.
You're talking about possible signings for Chiefs, and now that this ruling has come up, Tabang Manare was amongst those players that were lined up to go join them.
And of course, we know that Fiso Atlanti was training with Chiefs, and Now he has to go and find somewhere else to keep busy. Speculation about Stellenbosch possibly being a destination for him, and even Nange. And double change then. Lebahang Manyama again. He's yet to rediscover his form of last season. And in his place comes Bernard Parker, and who scored at this ground when these two sides met for the last time these two sides met in a semi-final. Parker scored in a 1-0 draw. The other one was scored by LLB Luyanda Lennox Bagela, and Chief Pirates winning the tie 2-1 on aggregate. So let's see what the change then can, whether Parker can come on and score and get back into this game. Your thoughts then? You had already mentioned that you felt that young Nobo was not in the game. Moso Manyama was not offering anything out wide there.
Again, he's one of those players that enjoys seeing the bigger part of the field as opposed to being narrowed onto the one side.
Had to get header behind there from Tulani Tlachoyo. Had to take that route because the man was lurking behind.
Good defending. He knew what sort of danger was behind him in Castro. Good awareness. Solid defending from Captain Tlachoyo.
So Happy Mashiane is the other player who's come on for Chiefs. Look for some midfield creativity. A good ball back in here, and straight at the keeper. Makes a good stop. Well positioned. Ngezana again, not for the first time. With an opportunity.
Only this time he gets it on target. But how about this ball watching? And from Orlando Pirates, you see the ball going onto the right-hand side. It's kept alive and brought back into the center.
He's Bernard Parker then. Castro. Seemingly going through the middle there. That's a good ball then to pick up Mashiane. First time ball in, and a crucial touch to get it away by Maela.
Talk about impact. That's exactly what Bernard Parker has done. Link up play. How about that cross? Good timing there. Good header from Maela.
It's going to be a corner now. Bit of pressure now coming from Chiefs. A good little spell for them here.
It is. The first 15 minutes of the second half is always crucial. When you're trailing, you always throw bodies and more numbers there to try and get an equalizer. And so far, so good for Chiefs. They've forced a save out of Ofori.
Good header away. Ngezana playing it back into Cardoso now. Ramampatlela, who stayed up for that one and then commits the foul on Maela. Maela restored to the starting lineup for this one.
That's good defending. Again, we're talking awareness, because he was more the last man. That ball was played onto the far side. And I'm saying this because we compare the goal that Chiefs conceded with Zulu, not properly positioned at the time.
Sebonga Ngezana proving to be a threat from set pieces.
He's got some defending duties to do now. He's got to deal with Pule pushing numbers forward. Zuka Manje as well.
Last time Pirates reached the semi-final of the MTN8 was in 2014, as I mentioned, and that same season they made it to the final. Were beaten in the final. Chiefs have the honor of being the first winners of that heavy MTN8 trophy when they beat Sundowns on penalties after 0-0. After it had ended 0-0.
It was in Devon, right?
Correct. And that is that trophy that has continued to elude. In fact, he left the club without winning it. Pitso Mosimane with Mamelodi. The only trophy he didn't win with Mamelodi Sundowns, the Al Ahly coach. Love saying that. I say it again, the Al Ahly coach, Pitso Mosimane, let that marinate. He is, of course, in the final of the Champions League. Now can add a star and make a little bit of history. More history. He's already made history. Now, good ball in. Pahlele couldn't direct it on target.
Pirates better be ready because they're going to see more of this balls drilled into the box. They've got to be switched on to defend.
Poulet's pace there, unable to get him onto that one. Even for him, it was a little bit heavy. And of course, the wind, as I said, playing its own role there at the back. It's Pirates have the wind in their back in the second half. And they have, more importantly, the goal that separates the sides.
They'll be making a change soon. I think it's Nzovu will be coming on.
Now, Lodge. Boule on the turn! Boule gets a goal! Beautifully done! And that is beautifully done! Lodge picking Boule out, and Boule, beautiful turn. And I think Akpe will be furious with the defending, how he was allowed to turn and pick a spot.
Now, what is interesting is there was a point where I felt that ball was played too hard onto Boule, but he makes a brilliant run. He peels off two defenders who were ball watching, Ramasan Pasela and Gezana. In fact, it's Blom, but look at that touch from Boule. That unlocks two defenders again. Watch this. Quick turn, another touch. Clinical finish.
Yeah, no pressure.
What a ball about that pass from Lodge. Pinpoint. Good first touch there. Second touch. Yeah. Clinical finish from Boule.
Two defenders there, no pressure on the ball, and Boule punishes them suitably.
Well, the run that was made by Lodge unlocked two players. And again, it is Boule with one touch that unlocks two defenders. And the finish, you can understand the celebration.
It's his, opens his account then for the season, Mariela Boule. Now it is 2-0. It's all to do for Kaizer Chiefs now. Mentioned the importance of trying to get an away goal. Mashiane gets support from Zulu. The cross coming in, and the header from Castro is a tame one.
He needs more of the supply. He's an option for them.
All those chances, the couple of chances they had in the first half, now are looking that much more costly for Chiefs as they now find themselves 2 down. And we have just over 20 minutes remaining. Pirates preparing to make a double change. And they're not letting up because they're bringing on Otto. As Maela gets a ball in and a chance here. What a ball again. Fantastic ball played in.
Avulekile Masango on this left-hand side of Orlando Pirates, where they're operating and bringing in the crosses.
What delicious ball in there for Lodge to apply a finishing touch. Former footballer of the year. Maybe, just maybe, starting to rediscover his best form after a forgettable 2019-2020 season. Dion Otto will get his first taste of the derby, coming on for As Ndlovu, especially Ndlovu, comes in for Tabang Monare then.
Zukamanja will be coming off as well. Hoto.
One former Bidvest player makes way for another. Castro.
Interesting interview that I heard from Kevin, and he says Pirates are much stronger now and they're contenders because they've signed even better players.
No, absolutely, no doubt about that. I think, you know, I have to say that between Orlando Pirates and Mamelodi Sundowns, they have by far the strongest squads. And it's about gelling them into a winning team. I mean, if you can bring on a player like Dion Hoto off the bench, you're starting to tells you about the strength and depth that Pirates now have. Backers. Now Pirates have to get into game management mode because they don't want to give away an away goal. Castro's done well here. Still Castro. And well, Pirates are there dilly-dallying in getting the ball away, but they survive that one. It's a corner.
I agree with you to say they've got to be that tight. But I like this battle here. Castro doing the best he can, always under pressure, getting some special attention. They are also a threat when it comes to set pieces too.
And it's Billiard with one to the back post. They seem to overcook it a bit. Zulu trying to drill it through the body of black shirts in front of him. Gets another corner.
Putting in a good shift, Satrayo, putting their bodies on the line. It's good for Chiefs because of continuing to pile on the pressure on Pirates. And this man is key, so is Ngezana.
Well, Parker laying it back, and Ngezana's ball is stayed in play. Not the best of crosses, but it stayed in play, and it's going to be a throw-in for Chiefs.
The referee overrules the assistant because I think the assistant was saying it's a foul.
Yeah, it didn't get a touch from anyone, so yeah. From Ngezana's cross, it didn't get a touch, so it is a Pirates ball. And I mentioned that this competition, or this trophy, was the springboard that set Pirates on their merry way when they went on and won that famous double treble. It all started with the MTN8 in 2010.
Let me also flip it a little bit as well. I agree with you, but with a different coach. When Kevin Hunt won the league, he beat Sundowns in the MTN8. And Dane Clay was part of that team, and so was
the league. I mean, with Bidvest Vets. That's correct. Yes. They started off with Gavin Hunt, MTN8 winner in 2016 with Bidvest Vets, and has been a runner-up, of course, with the Moroka Swallows. They lost to Jomo Cosmos in the final in Durban in 2003. Bauer, can he go all the way and make this his first trophy? How many of the players in this Pirates squad, Brian Mate, have actually tasted ever won a trophy? Now, that's great work from Pule. The marking, question marks, but man gets a touch to control, a very difficult ball to control, and then still manages to turn and fire one past a helpless Daniel Akpe. Castro, Parker, and sticks a boot in there. Does the skipper, Satrayo, space for Mashane, but he's offside.
They have to try and find a rhythm, Chiefs. Now the experience of Bennett Parker is going to be vital. You can see him giving instructions to his boys in the midfield. One player that has got some quiet. In the second half, he's come a billiard.
Yes, indeed. Bernard Parker, it's quite remarkable that he went all of last season without a goal. That was his first season since signing for Kaizer Chiefs that Parker finished the season without a goal. Extraordinary. Now would be as good a time as any for him to break that goal-scoring drought. Fori alert to the danger there.
Satchai is far ahead in points in terms of winning the battles, aerial battles against Castro.
Yeah, he's the man for the job.
Yeah, Castro pretty much close to Castro and Kamabediak more on the right-hand side.
It's clumsy again from it's Blom this time with a challenge.
Put him under pressure there, Apulu. Another one who's coached by Coach Kevin Hunt, won them the Telkom Cup.
And with Bidvest Vets. Chiefs going to make some changes as well. Reminder, 5 changes allowed. Each side allowed to make 5 changes.
Yes, that looked dangerous.
Yo.
But what is danger when you call spicy?
Danger is your middle name. So it's just under 14 minutes now for Chiefs to try and find an away goal, and for Orlando Pirates to deny them and take a massive advantage into that second leg. It sets it up in such a way. Well, for both teams, you really know, what you need to do.
Well, I guess for Pirates now, of course, you want them not to concede, but they'll be much happier if they were to score a 3rd goal as well.
It's Sifama. Get it to Sifama, 17 years old. That's going to come on. And Lebu Lesako, looks like the other player as well, who will, indeed it is, Lebohang Lesako, who will also come on, both attacking players. Here's Dion Hoto, who runs the 1-2, can't get past Cardoso. Now, Backers. Here is Beliat, gone very quiet. Looks to pick out Mashiane, offside again. Was he off this time? And it looks like attack one this time, and needs to watch that run.
Was he? It doesn't look offside.
No, it doesn't look offside on that, from that angle.
At all. From that angle, no offside.
Frustration, more frustration for Kaizer Chiefs. Another change then. It is Bacchus that has gone off. Continue. That's the referee who made the call. Kamusi Razmisani. His first Soweto derby, by the way, along with the referee Eugene Mdluli, officiating in their first derby. There you go. Lebohang Lesako. When they call Lord Guluva. Mentioned that when he made his first appearance, when he made his debut for Chiefs, to say that, wow, what a nickname to get.
Not Guluva.
Guluva has got so much history.
Yeah, Chencha
with
Guluva.
his club. Yeah,
Chencha Guluva.
That's the nickname of the chairman, of course, of Kaizer Chiefs, Kaizer Mutaun.
It's amazing. I had a conversation with some passionate fans and talking about players with nicknames, and I said a lot of the players that we're talking about were using their nicknames. And it's not easy now to come up with nicknames for the current crop of players, but many of them.
Confirmation then of Leonardo Castro making way for this youngster. Getting to from how prolific he was in MDC for Kaizer Chiefs. But this is a very different level of the game. This is a major step up. Now, 11 minutes. So Blom works it wide. Gezana. Pirates are going to make a change. Now, Sifama. It's combining there with Sifama. Looking to play in a pass here now for Zulu. Corner. Corner. Chiefs are going to have to throw everything at it in this remaining 10 minutes. And the block came there from Wade Yosta, who is definitely now more committed defensively. Haven't seen him get him forward much.
He focused on the defensive duties, which I think he's done an excellent job. On the right-hand side.
In it comes. Solid header away. And the touch is not a good one. There could be problems here now. The keeper had come off his line, now has to backtrack. It could be trouble. Lodge! Lodge to finish it! In style! Wow! Wow, that wraps up a fine day at the office for Lodge.
Oh, John.
Well, the risk was always there that as you commit to go forward, the gate, as you say, is open.
Wide open. Counter-attack football, not when you have a gentleman called Hoto, who knows what it means to play counter-attack football. And it starts with him. An error in that midfield. Hoto is there. He links up with that man. Said, Lodge.
Ukoragamnand. 3-0. Wow.
He looks up. He picks the spot. Clinical finish. It
is fascinating how reminiscent this game is of the 3-0 loss against Sundowns as well, where Chiefs had some opportunities in the first half which they didn't take. And then Sundowns put them to the sword, as Pirates have done here. Indeed, it is only half-time in the sense that for the tie, but you've got to say it's going to take something very special for Chiefs to turn this around now in the second leg. Lodge keeps his cool and puts it past Akpay.
Happy Jele. Osiamena Makaring. They're about to come on. But it is this man had so much time. Batu Telangama Ice comes down, picks the spot.
Thembinkosi Lodge with his 4th derby goal against Kaizer Chiefs. Frustrating for Gavin Hunt. It is a baptism of fire. 3 they conceded against the Sundowns, 3 against the Pirates. It is just, I think, yet another reminder of the task that lies ahead for Gavin Hunt. Well, Thembinkosi Lodge, what a fine day performance, what a fine performance from him today. Is this the revival? Well, he's had all sorts to deal with on and off the field as Lodge, frustration about the talk about the move that he desired not happening. But at the end of the day, now is an opportunity for him to get himself up and going. This is a test of character for him. Against all the odds, as I said, the stuff he's had to deal with off the field as well. And now to come in and put in a shift like that, fantastic, Thembinkosi Lodge.
You know, sometimes you could go through so much, but once you get into that field and you do what you love best.
So captain on for captain. Jale takes over the captain's armband. 5 minutes remaining now. Could be worse here now because Akpe is committed. And he had to get something on that one.
Saved them the blushes.
Lepasa denied a second. Was that going to be a tight angle? It was more about playing someone else in, though.
I think if the goalkeeper didn't touch it, it was destined to be a goal. Based on how and on that technique and the angle. It may look awkward, but I think he'll pick the spot nicely. Good goalkeeping in the end from Akpe.
So now it's all about managing the game, running the clock down for Pirates, not in any hurry to take this corner. Dion Honto will now go for one into the box. It's gone a little dark here at the Orlando Stadium. A bit of cloud cover here. Oh! Misses everyone, that one does. But, good commitment to try and keep that one in play from Lepasa. I mentioned that he works so hard. There's Lepasa. Mphahlele. Parker lays it back. And there were some glimpses of Parker making an impact when he first came on. But since then, the Pirates getting a third. That has taken whatever wind might have been developing or forming inside the Chiefs' sails and has flattened it completely. Meantime, they've got more to worry about as Pirates come forward. Pirates preparing another change in Kanyeso Zungu. He's the player who is about to come on, former Stellenbosch, or signed from Stellenbosch FC.
Good pass off the ball. Just needs to acclimatize to the Pirates setup. They have a good start because he joined Pirates and got injured and he was out for a very long time.
Shiani. And the referee will allow the change to happen now.
Ben Mutwari.
And it's to be Ben Mutwari that makes way. Not a bad debut at all as well for Ben Mutwari in midfield there. They controlled the part of midfield along Ben Mutwari and Tabang Monare. What am I saying about debut? I mean, talking about Monare, that was making his debut alongside this man who's been such a warrior for Pirates since signing from. So
what that means is that Makarenge will play more the defensive midfield.
First,
you're going to have Zungu playing more the creative part of it.
His first appearance of the season then for Orlando Pirates, and only his 6th appearance in total. 7th appearance in total in all competitions for the Buccaneers. Kanyeso Zungu, who signed, of course, as I said, from Stellenbosch FC. And he will be. Now it's a question of bringing it home. So, as was the case when these sides met in the semi-finals in the 2013-14 season. Great tackle. Excellent tackle there from Mphahlele. Oh, great pressing, and Pirates have won it back. Good energy being shown in late on in the game here by Pirates. Now they're turning it on. The stands would be buzzing at this stage, but at their home ground, in front of their home fans, the Pirates would have been turning it on. And they're going to be content having to watch it from home. As I said, as was the case in the 2013-14 season when these sides last met in the semi-final, Pirates will be taking an advantage, although it's a much bigger advantage this time around. 1-0 it was in the first leg. That occasion, Dane Claytor, the only goal. So now they'll be taking a massive 3-0 win into that second leg. This is the first time. This is a heavy defeat. Abraham Manyama, it's been a tough time for him. And as you see there, it's been that sort of day, as the pictures tell you the story of Chiefs this afternoon.
And I'm sure they'll be asking questions such as what happened to the performance they put in the first half, where I thought Kama was much more involved.
Well,
you know, second half was completely different.
As I said, when you score the goals, it changes the complexion of the game. You know, it changes what you're forced to do, kind of risks you can take, and so on. As you see, the Bob Stick looking on. Not another difficult day at the office for him and his charges here. The football manager of Kaizer Chiefs looked a forlorn figure when they conceded 3 against Sundowns, and it's happened again. And into stoppage time now. Pirates have done what they needed to do in the first leg. You want to be winning your home games, and they've won it emphatically. And overall, then, Ryan Matthias, we wind down here. To get your thoughts and your overall impressions of the game, then, is in as far as the score line, is that an accurate reflection of the game that we've just witnessed?
Well, I'm sure the viewers would remember that in the build-up we spoke about the details of the game, which matters most. In terms of when you create your chances, you've got to be much more clinical, and Chiefs had good chances in that first half to be much more clinical. Pirates had chances and they were very clinical in their approach. Defensively, I thought Pirates have been very organized, and I think I enjoyed the battle between Tlachayo and Castro. I think he's managed to neutralize them and they won the battle. But I think sometimes if you don't take your chances, the opponent will get their chances and they'll punish you. That's exactly what Pirates have done. They played very solid, and their counter-attack, their pressing game has worked very well for them this afternoon.
It was Kaizer Chiefs that scored 3 goals in a match. The last time that a team scored 3 in this game, we had 5 goals that afternoon in a league match in September last year. Chiefs winning 3-2. It's good work here as Tucker tries to make things happen there. Where's the farmer there? Of course, this will be the first win in 3 matches for Orlando Pirates against Kaizer Chiefs. Chiefs have won their last 3 encounters against Pirates, including a League Cup game, rather, which, when I said the Telkom knockout game, which ended 2-2, but Chiefs won on penalties. That now then 3 minutes is up according to our clock, and maybe this will be the last passage of play. Guided behind for a goal kick by Wade Yoster. Done a good job there, playing essentially as a right back in this second half, well, most of the game really.
Seems to have settled in that position.